Yo, what is up, guys? Today I'm doing a full breakdown on the best trade of the year for me, commodities wise, forex wise, and indice wise. On gold here, it was about a 6RR trade. If you've been following along with the channel, I've been updating this trade almost every video towards the end, and you've seen it play out, and you've seen the reasons why I took it and how absolutely profitable this trade was. So if you're new here, stick around. I'm going to break down the full trade so you can use this on other trades and print a shit ton of money. So let's lock in. Okay. The first thing I'm going to do is strip down the chart so I can show you exactly how I charted it without any confusion. Okay. So this was about 2.5 weeks ago. So the first thing I had marked out, of course, was my weekly open. Again, if you don't know how to do this, every Sunday night at like 5 p.m. PST, this opens and you just mark your weekly open. So weekly open, here we go. Okay, then after the weekly open, I usually on this range right here, gold's been ranging since about April. So I grabbed my fixed range volume profile and just wanted to get a point of control. So I dragged that out, and luckily the point of control lined up perfectly with the weekly open. And then one of the key sweeps that we had here was this sweep right here. And on the daily, the bottom of this fair value gap was exactly tapped into by this low. So that was pretty much my trigger to start getting ready to take longs. But of course, I didn't take longs just off that because that is not probable. So once I saw that, I'm not going to leave the fair value gap marked out right there because I need to mark out something else. But just keep that in mind. So again, swept out these lows right here, and then we retraced into the bottom of this gap, and then now let's go into a lower time frame. So the reason why I didn't want to enter right off that gap is because if you look at the previous price action in the previous days, just literally each low is just coming and getting swept. So it wasn't probable. I needed something to confirm a reversal, and then what ended up happening was this 4-hour bullish fair value gap that closed above the weekly open and above the point of control. At that point, I set my limit orders right when this close happened on the second candle, not the middle one, the second candle right here. Once this closed, I immediately set my orders at the point of control in the weekly open with my stop loss at this low right here. If we broke this low, there was a high chance that we were coming down to retest something down here, so I didn't want to be in the trade then. The main take profit for this trade, where I shaved about 65% of the position, was this local swing high here. So if you got on like the 12-hour, this is the most recent swing high that sticks out to me. So that was my main take profit. And if you were just to take this trade alone, didn't want to be in it for X amount of time, you could have just taken this about 3RR, still a super profitable trade. But ultimately, I set extended take profits for my range. So you guys know I love my range deviation fibs. So that was pretty much the target right there, the top of the fib. It smacked exactly. And then the last thing is right here at the main TP. I said this in multiple videos. If you get a close underneath this high, I would just close the position out in case it's a sweep, and I don't want to get into any retracements or anything like that. But as you can see here, we perfectly closed above, and then we had a little retracement making this nice order block here, but ultimately didn't end up closing below the low, below the high. If not, we closed just right on the high, and then the next 12-hourly candle continued to sweep highs, and then just more continuation. So as you can see here, on extended TPs, I like to trail my stop loss, but every 12-hour candle was green up until it. So there was really no stress there, and it was just a breeze. And yeah, this was the best trade of the year. Super simple stuff. You just have to wait and be patient because this trade doesn't come that often, but when it does, it bangs. And yeah, I can't even believe I'm saying that my biggest trade of the year was on gold because I hated trading gold before this. I never really found it amusing, but this was an absolutely insane trade. So I hope you learned something new, learn this strategy. If you guys take it on another pair or even gold again, just send it in the comments so I can see it. I'd love to see you guys using this. And yeah, that's pretty much it for my biggest trade of the year. I'm out. I'll see you on the next one.